Today we're here to talk about the Little Rock Nine and how these students integrated Central High School in 1957. So the 9 students consisted of Ernest Green, who was a senior. You have Elizabeth Eckford, Minnie Jean Brown, Terrence Roberts, Jefferson Thomas, Melba Patillo Beals, Gloria Ray Carklard, and Carlotta Walls Lanier, who was the baby of the group. Now, out of the 9 students, 3 are actually graduated from Central High School. Ernest graduated in 1958. Gloria got her diploma through the mail. She had to finish at another high school because Governor Faubus actually shut down all 4 public high schools in Little Rock after the 1957 desegregation of Central High. And then you have Jefferson Thomas and Carlotta Walls Lanier that graduated in 1960 from Central High after the school was reopened. So basically how it all started was you had Brown versus the Board of Education, which happened in 1954. There were 14 different cases, and the Supreme Court declared that segregation of public schools was illegal, and therefore all schools had to desegregate and basically let everybody go wherever their local high school was. So all of this was great, right? Yep. So then you had these 9 students that opted in to be part of the first group to integrate at Central High School. Now, for those of you that know anything about Little Rock, it is in Arkansas, which is in the deep south, and you can just imagine how well that was received by the general public in this state. So the reason that this was so important was General Orville Faubus, who, let's be nice, he was a very special man. He basically did everything in his power to keep the 9 students from attending. He went as far as to actually use the Arkansas National Guard to keep the students out of the high school when school started. And this protest went on for about 3 weeks after the school year started, and of course at this point there was lots of press coverage and lots of outcries. So on September 25th, you had President Dwight Eisenhower, who actually stepped in and introduced paratroopers to the city of Little Rock, and they actually stood between the National Guard and the students and escorted the students in and out every day. So the first time the kids actually went to school was on September 25th. Now, they were escorted in and out of the building. They were escorted to classes, but that didn't mean they weren't being taunted in restrooms or, in the classroom or walking to class. I mean, these kids went through the worst you could ever possibly imagine. So all of this was really important because 2 reasons. You had a governor who used his power probably a little more zealously than any other governor had. And then more importantly, you had a president who went against the 10th Amendment, that gave states' rights the powers and kept the federal law out by introducing the paratroopers to protect the students from, the taunters and their fellow students in regards to going to school. This is so important because, and is a pivotal moment because these students generally went in every day and faced their attackers. So what questions do you have for me today?
Would the measure that the President Eisenhower had to take, would this scenario likely happened anywhere else, or was Little Rock just prime, sort of the perfect storm to have all these elements come together? Do you believe it would have played out the same way, say if you were in New York or LA or somewhere like North Dakota?
So your question is, did Eisenhower pick Little Rock because of what was going on, or would he have used that presidential power anywhere? I really feel that Little Rock was just the perfect storm and the prime scenario given the civil rights movement and what was going on there.